Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. First time.
I have been thoroughly enjoying The Strain on
Okay.
television, and I want to thank you for that. I'm interested in what the difference would be, or what the difference has been for you to do that on television rather than a feature film, and if you could speak about The Master and the creation of The Master.
The Strain is really, after the first season, is really Carlton Cuse. It's Carlton's baby. I having co-written the books with Chuck Hogan, I'm too close to the books. I suffer a lot if there's a change, and there's a lot of changes. They kill people that we don't kill in the book, they kill them on the second season. The people that we killed in the first book live forever. So, you know, there are many, many changes. What I think is interesting is we went through adapting it to comics for Dark Horse, and it was a seamless experience because it was the books enhanced. On TV, you learn very quick that the dynamics of a TV show are very different, you know? Some characters that were meant to last and have to end quickly, blah, blah, blah. The Master, for me, the great thing is that he changes bodies. That was the thing that was interesting for me, that you don't have a single actor doing it. And again, there is, to me, there is, the first time The Master is shown on the Strain, to me it was not well lit. I was doing my day job, I was shooting, and I was not on the set that day. And I don't like the way it's lit. I think it's lit flat. And there's no makeup that can look great if it's flat. Later, the next episode, I was there, and I made sure that he was lit nicely, you know. And then I think what I love about him, and it's revealed season by season and in the books, is that he is pure hunger, you know. He's a creature of pure hunger. Now the TV show and the books sort of diverted after the second season, and I think the books are going to have, the series is going to have a different finale than the books, you know. So it's interesting to me. I remember Mike Mignola telling me about Hellboy, how weird it was for him that Hellboy was not his Hellboy, that Hellboy would have never fallen in love with Liz, you know, that Abe would not have been an empath or a telepathic fish. You know, he was like, you have no idea how weird it feels. And I was like, ah, come on. And now I understand it, you know, because it does feel strange to see something you did transform. On the TV series, I'm not the showrunner. I do every makeup, every single effect you see in the series, I supervise the digital effects on the Strain to this day, and I color correct all the episodes of the Strain. So that I do. I talk to Carlton, but Carlton runs the show, and I have to literally give it to him. If I'm directing, I haven't done anything I didn't want since 1997. So if you don't like something in my movies, it's my fault. You know? And if you like it, I'm happy. But I learned an incredibly useful word in 1997, which is no. You know, and it's a word that I knew, but I didn't know how to use. Because when you're a young filmmaker and you're making movies, you make them because everybody loves you, and you're like a dancing bear, you know, like and everybody comes to you and you help, and then after that you gotta become a bit of a motherfucker.
You've shepherded some very talented young filmmakers recently, like Andres Muschietti on Mama.
Yeah.
Have you seen anyone, excuse me, more recently coming up that you think is really promising?
Well, yeah, I retired from production. I decided I'm going to produce only things that I was contractually, because when you produce, you end up, it's such a huge effort, and you realize that you could have made another movie as director, you know. So I'm going to just do my day job. I'm just going to direct. But yes, I produced, I think, 8 first-time filmmakers. And I produced, I think, close to 20 movies. So I did that, you know. But I wanted to produce first-time filmmakers because I thought it was necessary, you know, to have a Andy Muschietti or Juan Antonio Bayona, you know, or Jorge with the Book of Life, you know, people that needed to exist in order to create movies that I love. But I tried to interact with a lot of people. Back in the day, it was Larry Fessenden, for example. in the late 20th century. Or now I can go have lunch with Ty West, or people that I admire and I like what they're doing. Recently, I saw this amazing movie called Spring that I completely went apeshit over. And, I contacted the filmmakers and said, I want to have lunch. I'm not going to produce, but I can be a friend. I can be a friend. I can be an ally. I can give advice. There's a couple of brothers. There's 2 young filmmakers that had done a movie that I helped them finish. It never got distributed. Now they did a series for Netflix that just started. They wrote me to thank you for what I did back in the day. So I remain in contact, but I admire horror film when it's done in a way that is personal. The Babadook, I love It Follows, I thought was fantastic. So I stay in touch as much as I can.
I wonder if you're the kind of filmmaker who goes back often and watch your old films, and if
Me?
so, yeah.
My film?
Your own films,
Oh,
no. No? How come?
When there's a curious thing that happens. Sometimes it happens that I'm switching channels and I go, oh, that looks good, and I go back and it's one of mine. And I go, come on. But that happens now and then, and then I stop. I'm probably getting dressed. I have one sock on and another sock in my hand, and I watch a couple of shots and I go, oh, that's nice, or oh, that's shit. Depending on the sequence. I go, well, I like it if it's a sequence I like. But no, I don't imagine that. I see them enough making them, I see them 70, 80 times complete when I'm making them. I don't want to see them again,
Going back to your films, like beginning at something very personal like Devil's Backbone, all the ways to something immense like Pacific Rim,
Mm-hmm.
how do you maintain that like personal level?
Well, I don't do any movie that I wouldn't be willing to die for. Like, I've had on my lap movies that are huge, that become huge franchises, but I don't believe in them, or I don't believe I'm the right guy. And I say no. Because when you take a movie, you're accepting that you're going to disappear from your family's life 3 years, basically. You're going to become this creature comes in at night, exhausted and grumpy, and you fall face down on the bed, and it's like the ending of Bridge of Spies. You come back home, you fall down, and you better have gone save the world somehow in your mind, So no matter what movie it is, I do it because I love it. You need to get high on your own supply when you're doing the movies, and I get high on my own supply in every movie. It makes no difference what movie it is. It's Hellboy or Hellboy 2 or Blade or,
Can you talk about your decision not to direct Pacific Rim 2 and the process of choosing the director who did take it over?
Yeah, I chose Pacific Rim over Dark Universe on Warner's because they were conflicting. And then Pacific Rim got pushed 9 months. And I had this little movie that I've been carrying for a couple of years that is The Shape of Water. And I thought, I'm going to do that right away. There's a juncture here. I got to take it, It's a more difficult movie. It's a smaller movie, but I felt in my gut I need to make it, I said, am I going to wait another 9 months? I had already put a year of pre-production, and I said, I'm going to do this movie. And I went into it, and then we started seeing people, and we needed to find somebody that had seen, that had his kaiju syllabus properly, that knew the mecha, that really felt like a fan, that felt like a guy that understood all that. And Steven felt like that guy. It's his movie. I'm assisting in any way I can, or that he needs, but it's his movie. And I think the ideas he has are great. Very happy with it, but I decided I was going to move on, do this, and keep going to new things.
So you mentioned Shape of Water a couple times. Now, all your movies so far have always shown a little piece of something that you love, like gothic romance or kaiju. What is Shape of Water? What part of you are we going to see for the first time, maybe, that we haven't seen?
I don't know. I mean, I try to make movies different from each other. That's funny. I thank you for noticing. You know, but I do want to say the same guy that did Devil's Backbone did Pacific Rim, and he's the same guy. You know, however you want to quarter it, I don't put a cap and go work. It's the same guy. So you know, this is it's a smaller movie in the English language, which gives me a lot more freedom. Because although I don't abide by intervention, you do have to weigh the size of audience you want. You know, when you get more budget, you do change into part of you says, okay, I gotta engage. The feeling of the resonance of the movie goes to a wider audience. You go, you like when I say Blade is a six-pack movie, I mean it. It's a movie best appreciated with a six-pack and a pizza, you know. But so normally in English, I'm working with a certain budget. This allows me. It's a much more constricted budget, but it allows me to go into a more esoteric area. You know, not that anyone was clamoring for Gothic romance last year, but I gotta tune into that. So this is a very personal, smaller movie. My favorite creatures are the creature of Frankenstein, the Gilman, the Xenomorph in Alien, and I think those are the three top of the tops. And then if you go man in a suit, well, Godzilla, Baragon, we can go into. I mean, I'm a Shintoist because I completely adore Japanese monsters.
Why Frankenstein specifically? What was it that?
Well, when I was a kid, I saw the movie. I was incredibly moved by the fact that the creature was an innocent. You know, it was. I have never seen a horror movie, in which I want the monster to be destroyed. I want the fucking villagers to die. I want the scientists to explode. I want everybody can die except the fucking monster. So you know, I'm the guy. I remember in prison when they show movies where a heist is happening, the prisoners root for the bad guys. They want the cops to die. That's me watching a horror movie. So you know, when I saw him, there was such serene, innocent, essential grace in the way Boris portrayed the creature. There was a beauty that was truly holy, that was truly transcendental in the way he portrayed it. And then I read the book, and I realized the book has not been made. To this day, nobody has made the book. But the book became my Bible, because what Mary Shelley wrote was the quintessential sense of isolation you have as a kid. It's a teenage book. It's the quintessential teenage book. You don't belong. You were brought to this world by people that do not care for you, you know, and you are thrown into a world of pain and suffering and tears and hunger, and you learn to talk, and it's an amazing book, written by a teenage girl. I mean, it's mind-blowing. So Frankenstein to me is the pinnacle of everything, you know, and part of me wants to do a version of it. Part of me has for more than 25 years chickened out of making it. But, you know, because sometimes I dream I can make the greatest Frankenstein ever, but then if you make it, you made it. Whether it's great or not, it's done. You cannot dream about it anymore. That's the tragedy of a filmmaker. You can dream of something, and once you make it, you made it. That's it. You landed at 10, or you landed at 6.5, but you were at the Olympics already. You were judged. Now, for me, I am way away from being normal. You know, I'm not, and I doubt I'll ever be a normal guy. I think I'm an okay human being, flawed, but whatever, you know. But I don't think I'm normal, and I'll never be. Monsters are real for me, in the sense that if you see my movies, there's never any doubt the creatures are real. Whatever it is, Pan's Labyrinth, Devil's Backbone, I don't care. I completely believe in that. And so it's never an ambiguous psychological drama where are there, or, and of course they are. Monsters are real. I mean, the opening of Crimson Peak is, ghosts are real, this much I know. For me, ghosts are real. I'm a Mexican, you know? Everything weird and fucked up, I think, is real. Because, and it's not a magical real, nothing. We have a complete certainty. You know, the way a Christian believes that Jesus will save his life, that's the way I believe monsters will save my soul. I believe it completely, and for me, it's an inventory of saints. The creature, the Frankenstein monster, these are religious figures for me. When people say, "Oh, you're a collector," I'm not a collector. I'm a religious man, and when I see Boris, I see a messianic figure, somebody that died for my sins. When I see the Gilman, I see one of the most beautiful creatures ever created, you know? I see perfection. I see the Holy Spirit, you know? And these things, I don't collect for value. I don't know if my Spider-Man 13 mint sealed in a bag is worth $750 or what. Fuck that shit. I create shrines. So my collection, my house, which is 2 houses full of monsters, it's a shrine. These creatures are real.
So we've been talking about the past. I wanted to talk about the future. By the way, big fan. Pan's Labyrinth blew my mind. Up to the Pacific Rim.
Thank you, my friend.
My favorite childhood story is Pinocchio, and I'm not sure if IMDb is just blowing smoke like they usually do, but are you working on are you working on Pinocchio? And if not, please do.
No, I am. I am. We wrote a draft already, and now I'm writing a new draft of Pinocchio. I think it's Frankenstein. Pinocchio and Frankenstein have similar strands. It's an innocent, a pure force, created and abandoned in the world, and learning to cope morally with the world. So they have a lot of strands are in common, you know. And is not a normal character. So he's viewed with suspicion, with wonderment. He's imprisoned, tortured, you know. So the thing I'm doing is I'm going back to the book. I'm going back to Collodi. So we have little things from the Collodi book that are not in the version most people know. You know, burning his legs, getting hanged, seeing the black bunnies, which are very scary. Pleasure Island is truly scary, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But I said it at the time when, in between World War I and World War II in Italy, when fascism is rising. So it's an interesting time for Pinocchio. You know, it's a good time for a puppet to exist. You know, so it's an interesting Pinocchio. It's animated, you know, and I have hopes to get it made. We have all the art. We designed everything, so you know we hope to get it made. I don't know when, but it's there.
Thank you.
Okay, let's hear it for Guillermo del Toro. MC designers tonight. And, let's hear it one more time, Guillermo del Toro.